In this example, we're going to work through the word problem that says Joan, Anna, and Natalie went shopping for Christmas decorations at the same store. And so we have some purchases that were made, and they bought lights, ornaments, and candles. And so I went ahead and defined some variables here. L is the price of one box of lights, N is the price of one ornament, and C is the price of one candle. The reason I used N for ornament instead of O is because when you start writing systems with O's, they can easily be confused by zeros, and then you get yourself in a lot of trouble. We try to avoid that. So L, N, and C are going to be the variables we use, and here are those definitions. So we're going to write three equations with these three unknown values, and we're going to do so from each of their purchases. So here we go. Joan purchased 4 boxes of lights, 7 ornaments, and 2 candles for $57. So if Joan purchased 4 boxes of lights, we can say 4L. She got 7 ornaments, so plus 7N, and plus 2 candles, so plus 2C, and she spent $57. So there's our first of 3 equations. Anna purchased 6 boxes of lights, 3 ornaments, and a single candle, and she spent, it looks like, $34. And finally, Natalie purchased 5 boxes of lights, 4 ornaments, and let's see, 2 candles as well, and she spent $44. So we have written our system of equations using these 3 variable definitions and using the 3 pieces of information, those 3 sentences, one for Joan, one for Anna, and one for Natalie. And then the question asks us to determine the unit cost of each item. So you'll notice the variables that I defined were based on the unit cost of each item. 1 box of lights, 1 ornament, and 1 candle. So L, N, and C. So at this point now, I just need to solve this system that I have written. It looks like this C in the second equation will be easy to isolate. So let's use substitution as our first step. So C equals 34 minus, and I'll push these other 2 variables over the right side, minus 6L minus 3N. So I have this expression that's equivalent to C. So I'm going to plug it into the first and the third equations, and then simplify and see what we have. So let's go ahead and work that first equation. So 4L plus 7N plus 2C, and my value of C is this expression 34 minus 6L minus 3N, and that equals 57. So let's go ahead and distribute and then combine these like terms. 4L plus 7N plus, it looks like 68 minus 12L minus 6N equals that 57. I can combine my L's and my N's, and then I'll subtract 68 from both sides. And ultimately here it looks like I'll have negative, 8L, and then 7 plus 1N equals, and 57 minus 68 looks like negative 11. All right, so here is one important equation. And I got this equation by plugging in my C expression from the second equation into the first equation. So let's go ahead and do it now into the third equation. So 5L plus 4N plus 2C, and of course C once again is 34 minus 6L minus 3N, and in this case it equals 44. So let's do the same thing, distribute, combine, and do my business here. So 5L plus 4N plus 68 minus 12L minus 6N, and that equals 44. So once again I can combine the L's and the N's and subtract 68 from both sides. So 5L minus 12L is negative 7L. 4N minus 6N is negative 2N, and it looks like that's going to equal a negative 24. Okay, so here is our second important equation. So what I've done now, I started with my system, 3 equations, 3 unknowns. I use substitution to get rid of the c's and whittle it down to 2 equations with just 2 unknowns. So it looks like on this one, this n is almost by itself, easy to isolate. So let's go ahead and use substitution again. So in this case, it looks like n is going to equal 8l minus 11. And if that's the case, let's go ahead and substitute it in. So negative 7l minus 2 times n, and n is 8l minus 11, and that equals negative 24. So we're just going to finish working this problem out and get my value for L. Looks like negative 23L equals negative 46. So when I do a quick division by negative 23, L is 2. All right, well, what did L represent? Let's march all the way back up here to the top. L was the price of 1 box of lights. So we know that that is going to be $2. Well, let's go ahead and start our back substitution process to get the other values. So if L is 2, I can plug it in right here and solve for n. So n equaled 8L minus 11. So n equals 8 times 2 minus 11. So looks like 16 minus 11 should be 5. So the value of n is 5. And back up here again, n is the price of 1 ornament, so we know that 1 ornament is $5. And now that we have 2 of our values, let's go ahead and work them all the way back up to here. C equaled this expression, so I can substitute now into that. So 34 minus 6 times L, which was 2, minus 3 times n, which was 5. So C equals 34 minus 12 minus 15, and it looks like that's going to be 7. So again, 7 was the price of 1 candle right there. So let's go ahead. We can write our sentences. I think for now I'll just kind of put these prices next to them. So your sentences will be, the price of 1 box of lights is $2. The price of 1 ornament is $5, and the price of 1 candle is $7. And we have now worked that word problem by first writing our definitions for our variables, writing our system, solving our system, and then finishing up by going back to our variable definitions and making sense of our answers.